Okay, welcome back, Bacho. We continue our fight, our argument, our struggle to learn that how do we determine the range. Okay, now guys, look at this graph over here. Okay, now this graph has, let me tell you now, here is a point which is minus 10, comma 5. Suppose here is a point which is minus 2 comma 9. Here is a point which is let's say this point is 7 comma maybe 1. Okay, this point over here is, let's say this is 12 comma uh, 15. This point over here is, let's say this is um, 16 comma uh, 10. Okay, a bit higher than this, or maybe 9. They look to be on the same level. Okay, and this point is 20 comma 16, and this point over here is uh, 21 comma, let's say 2. Okay, so this is the function. Okay, this is y equal to f of x drawn in front of you. Now what is the range? What is the range if your domain is x is between minus 10 and 21? Please be very open, very vocal, very aggressive to learn this. If this is the domain, what is the range? I'm asking from all of you.
F of x is between 16 and 1.
16 and 1. You see, I am talking about the whole of this graph. So that means this graph starts from x equal to minus 10, and this ends at x equal to 21. So you have to see that within this, what is the range? You know, in range in statistics, that means the maximum minus the least. Okay, so in mathematics, that means from the least to the maximum. So if you look at all of this curve, the least value of the y coordinate is 1, and the maximum value of the y coordinate is 16. So this girl has rightfully said that the range is from 1 to 16. Some people confuse this with this starting point. They say, oh no, since x is starting from minus 10, so the range should also start from 5. That is not the thing. You have to look at all this curve, and then you see that what was the least value within this interval. For example, guys, let's say I talk about your test marks, okay? And I ask you that what is the range of your marks for the month of October, okay? So you will look at your marks. So suppose there were 5 tests, okay? So you will look at your test marks within October. So you will tell, okay, my least mark was this and my maximum mark was this. So that is how you would, like, you will not be quoting the marks that you got in November or the marks you got in September. You will just look at the marks within October. Okay. Now, let me change the domain here and make it, let's say, now the domain is between, let's say, now this is between 12 and 20. If the domain is between 12 and 20, please tell me what is the new range? Yes.
Between 9 and 16.
So this is between 9 and, very good, beta. This is between 9 and 16, because within this interval over here, you have to see that
Sir,
this
2
is,
and 16 नहीं होगा?
from 12 to 20.
Oh, okay,
Look at
20. I
this.
thought 21.
Yeah,
Sorry,
the
sorry.
least value of y is 9 over here, and the maximum value of y is 16 over here. So that is why this is going to be 9 to 16. Okay, this is from 9 to 16. Now, some of you were asking that if we can substitute the values of x into the function and then determine the range. Obviously, you will have to try many different ways. The thing is that you have to be sure that what was the least value, what was the maximum value of this y. Okay, and for example, देखो बच्चों, let me go to the next sheet. Okay. Now, suppose one of the functions is f of x that is equal to, let me take a very easy example, that is x. Another function is g of x, another very easy example, that is x squared. Now, both of them have the same domain. That is, x is all real values. This is x is all real values or numbers. Okay. So, without the graph, without the working, you can easily say yes, the range over here is going to be all real numbers. Okay? Why can you say that? Because you know that there's no turning point and you know what kind of a graph this is. This is going to be a graph like this, going up to infinity. Sorry, this has to go from the origin here. Sorry for that. Okay, so so this is how you have the graph for this y equal to x. Okay, but look at this. Can I say, bacho, please, yaar, beta, be a part of this discussion? Can I say, oh yes, no problem, g of x is going to be all real numbers, no problem? Can I say that?
No,
Why not?
because the range is greater than equal to 0.
Why it is greater than or equal to 0?
It has a turning
Because
point.
there is a turning point.
Exactly. I wanted to hear that because the quadratic curve always have a turning point. Okay. So this means that you have to be careful of that turning point, and you must know, oh yes, we have the domain is all real numbers. So the turning point is going to be there. And if you are a maths genius, you can simply keep this sketch in your mind. Okay. You can say, oh, this is the graph for y equal to x squared, and its turning point is 0, 0. So the range for this function would be g of x is going to be greater than or equal to 0. Please tell me, did you understand this or not?
So we did.
क्यों बच्चों? Beta देखिए, please don't be afraid of participating in class. We are all equal. Don't be pressurized from your class fellows. Please ask. Please ask. You can go into the chat box and say, you tell that if it is clear or not. If it is clear, let me change the domain then. Okay. Now I'm going to change the domain here. Okay. And obviously the range will change. Okay. So now let's say the domain for this function is x is between -2 and 5. And let me keep the domain for this, that x is between, let's say 2 and 5. Okay, now tell me, what will be the range for these functions? Yes. What is the range now?
F of x is between -2 and 5.
Why do you say that?
Because the maximum and minimum will be 5 and -2.
Please don't say maximum and minimum. Like you must say that, okay, sir, I will have a point here which is -2 comma -2, and I'll have a point over here which is going to be 5 comma 5, because you can find, okay, what is f of -2? So this is going to be -2. What is f of -5? So that is going to be 5. So this was a very easy example here. Okay, so that is why the range is going to be between -2 and 5. So what is the range over here now? Yes. Similarly, you will say, okay, let me find what is g of 2. That is 4. What is g of 5? that is 25. Okay, now that means you have a point over here which is 2 comma 4. You have a point over here which is 5 comma 25. Okay, so before you go on to tell the range, you must make sure that if the turning point is there within this domain. Do we have the turning point within this domain? Huh? Bacho, do we have the turning point within this domain? What is the x coordinate of the turning point?
0.
QB Ayla, what is the x coordinate of the turning point? भाई यार तुम लोग इसे रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं करते. Madia, what is the x coordinate of the turning point over here?
0.
0. So do we have 0 between 2 and 5?
No,
No.
sir.
No. Okay, Roshna, then should we consider the turning point to determine the range? Roshna. Oh.
Ji sir.
Should we
No,
consider,
sir.
should we consider the turning point to tell the range this time with this domain from 2 to 5?
Ji sir.
Okay, Samin, do you think we should consider the turning point to tell the range for this given domain?
Sir, मुझे समझ नहीं आई.
Okay, Minahil, should we consider the turning point to tell the range for this given domain?
No.
Very good. Why not? Why not?
Sir, pata nahi.
Okay, Shazreen, she says we should not consider the turning point to determine the range with this given domain. Why not? Shazreen.
Because the turning point probably isn't in this range.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Zainab Haider.
Sir, because the turning point x coordinate is not between 2 and 5, it is less than 2.
MashaAllah, very good. I should clap for you. Like, this is something that you people are so reluctant to mention that. You see, the turning point falls where your x is equal to 0. Do you have 0 between 2 and 5? No, we don't have 0 between 2 and 5. So that means this turning point is going to be insignificant for us now. Okay, there is no need to even look at the turning point, because the turning point does not exist between 2 and 5. Okay, so therefore this is going to give you the range over here. So the range would be the range would be simply between 4 and 25. Between 4 and 25. Okay, but alert Rana. Let me change the domain now for this. Okay. Now suppose the domain is, but I'm changing this. The domain is from -2 to 5. The domain is from -2 to 5. Okay, now let me mark this point over here. This point is -2, 4. Because when I find g of -2, I get 4. Okay. Now my first question is, Roshna, should we now consider the turning point?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes sir, क्योंकि
Yeah.
अब turning point उसके range में आता है.
Exactly, very good. Don't use the word range. You must say the turning point is falling within the domain. The turning point is falling within the domain, okay? So yes, now this turning point is quite clearly shouting out. It says, oh girls, the minimum value of the range is 0. This will be the minimum y coordinate. And what is the maximum y coordinate? Mera gala baith gaya. What is the maximum y coordinate?
25.
25. Okay, so this means the range for this domain is going to be between 0 and 25. Okay, without wasting any time, I would like you guys to go on to this exercise here, okay? And you immediately look at this question number 4. All of you, look at, can you see this question number 4?
Yes, sir.
Yes, question number 4 here. I have shared this on the screen. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Let me ask from Tahira. Tahira, beta, what is the domain in this 4A? Yes, Tahira. What is the domain? Come on, Tahira.
-1 and 5.
Yeah, -1 to 5, okay? And you would rather write it as x is between -1 and 5, okay? So what is the range? Let me ask from, who is there with us? Zuna. Zuna, what is the range for this 4A? Please be quick. We are running out of time. Yeah.
-8 to 8.
Minus g tero beta, and you must know how to write that. He hasn't given us the function's name here, so we'll write it as from -8 to 8. Remember, for the domain you use x, for the range you use this f of x, okay? Similarly, I'm just going to wind it up. The domain over here is going to be x is between -3 and 2, and the range is going to be between, the minimum value is over here and the maximum value is over here, okay? So this is between -7 and 20. Okay, guys, bachcho, achhe bachcho, pare bachcho, you have to try this question number 5, 6, 7, and 8. We'll be talking about this tomorrow. We'll have one more day on the domain and the range, okay? So once you're done with this question, inshallah, hopefully, you will be clear about how to find the range. Okay, thank you very much. That is it from the day. Allah Hafiz.